Hello and welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons and critically fumble a lot. Previously, they had themselves a bit of an adventure. Um,
A
after
bit.
after a successful trip through the ancient temple to Nerul, they went to explore the errand that Nai's patrons went and sent him on. Um, they found the dagger they were looking for, and in the process of retrieving it, managed to rouse an adult blue Dracolich, which they managed to subdue, but because three of them died in the process, they didn't really have it in them to even consider looking for the phylactery, so they just thanked the various gods, mostly Palor, for the life wards that Hazel and Froseth had. Um, Hazel sort of scraped Nai off the floor, and they moved slowly and carefully to a camp a couple of miles out so that they could rest and recover from various bits of resurrection exhaustion. Conversations probably need to be had, but for the time being, it's just a lot of flump.
And oniony layers of ow.
Yeah. Is there anything anyone wants to do or say prior to dinner?
No, not for me. I don't think so.
I'm
At least not yet.
unconscious, so
Yeah, you guys will be woken for dinner because Alice is very much. I'm cooking something substantial, as much as you can out here, because it's gonna help. So
And I'm
I
staying
may,
up to watch.
yeah, I may need you guys to like wake them up to get some food in them. Plus, there's kind of a thing I need to ask you guys about.
Okay.
It's not bad. Don't give me that look.
What look?
No, I'm talking. Points at Darvin. I'm talking to him. You're fine.
Oh, sorry.
You're marginally sensible and have not been so traumatized by the adventurer life that you don't take "we need to talk" as an immediate death sentence. You're good. You're cool.
Let's try and not do that again too often.
Well, it's not like we
Yeah.
had. It's not like we had any idea what
No.
was
that's
gonna
fair.
happen. And this, as far as I can tell, is the problem with doing favors for Archfey. They will never tell you anything because they think it's fucking funny. We apparently live to entertain.
They need
Fuckers better be entertained, assholes.
they need to be a bit more careful with their toys, considering. But
Well,
That
if
too,
if
yeah.
they're watching, points at the tent. They know about Hazel.
Yeah, so that gives them less reason to be careful, is what you mean.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hadn't considered
Yay!
that. Oh well.
Besides, I don't know what they would have done if Hazel hadn't been able to revive Nai. If they're that all powerful,
Maybe they'd have done it.
who's
Yeah,
to
who
say
knows?
they wouldn't have stepped in?
Who
Although
knows?
it's probably just as well that Hazel did, because there's some shit you can pull if you want to be entertained by your whatever you call the person who's on the other end of a patron. Because as far as I can tell, sometimes spells don't revive you as much as they reincarnate you.
Ooh.
Ava
That could-
glances at Nai's unconscious.
Yes.
Also, if they had done that, that might have indebted him even more, which I'm not sure would be a good thing. Don't tell that.
Well, anyway, it didn't happen, so it's a moot point.
Yeah, just because it's a moot point now doesn't mean that it's not something to
Won't come up later.
consider.
Mm.
Oh, fair. Okay.
You are so immediate picture guy. It boggles the mind. Anyway,
I suppose you need an equal balance.
you do, but just even if you don't necessarily have anything you can do about it at that stage, it's still something that needs a discussion. Because, if you don't at least think about the possibility and have it, stuck on a shelf somewhere in the back of your head, if it ever comes and hits you, you might be too frozen by the sheer impossibility of it to react.
That's a good point.
Right.
I can see what you mean by them needing you.
That's one of the things that we're going to have to discuss. Speaking of, I think our stew is just about ready. I think
alright.
Hazel. I'm going to need to make Hazel's a little bit special. Bringing out some of the northern spices. We've got this thing called burn lichen.
What does that do?
It's very, very spicy.
I was about to say it probably burns, given the name.
Yeah, there's just a little bit for flavor in the main stew, but I'm gonna liberally Dr. Hazel's because I figure it'll pepper up.
Okay.
But if you wanna,
better than me.
if you wanna wake them up,
I'll try.
because I think even Nai is closer to actual sleep and properly lying down by this point. Because dead.
Maybe does her best to arouse them. Probably takes a while.
Well, Froseth actually, it's, given the perception in general of him, it's not always the nicest thing to be able to be woken up easily, but he's alert enough to be like, oh, why?
My scales hurt.
Come on, you need some food.
Okay.
And gets latched onto.
All of a
What?
sudden,
I just pulled a latch onto in sleep like giant teddy bear.
yeah, you start shaking, and all of a sudden, whoomp.
I just grabbed the pole.
Okay,
Basically-
I'm sorry, you're gonna need a strength check for that.
Oh, God.
God, that's exactly what I do to my cat when I roll over and put my arm on him. I was like, yoink,
Oh.
in my sleep, no less. Oh, let me minimize OBS.
14.
Contested strength roll from Ava.
Okay. I see. She's grabbing onto me and
Grabbing onto
Yes.
you and
Yanking.
I'm so strong, you guys. This is gonna go wonderfully. Strength. Just strength.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, all of a sudden you are squirming teddy bear, because basically she's wrapped her arms around you, rolled over, pulling you with her onto the bed. Froseth is watching this.
Big fan. And squeezing tighter.
Grapple check. Where I can't believe you just sleep grappled. Oh my god. I am going to splash water in his face at this point.
Okay, yeah, Bub, Hazel's wake has flung Ava, who's also soaking wet, has rolled off the bed and thump onto the floor.
Jesus Christ.
I'm alive. So come on, okay.
I'm pretty sure Nai's woken up in the process of all this.
I'm not sure if you saw me mime like poking head up, rotating, looking.
No. I'm too busy trying to pay attention to what the fuck is happening over here. I'm sure I'll appreciate it in the rewatch. Don't worry.
Oh, God.
Naya's like just sitting up and just staring.
Ow, I think you got the rib.
Thankfully, you have
You
taken
know.
no damage, but you're
So.
yeah.
Is it tomorrow yet?
You took a point of pride damage.
A little, yeah.
Yes. By this point, you guys can probably smell yeah, not bad smelling stew scents coming from the outside.
Is that dinner or breakfast?
And I already
That would
shuffled
probably
again.
be. What time is it?
It's
now?
dinner. This is actually
Alright.
dinner.
That would be dinner.
Okay.
You guys need to eat.
Yes, when Hazel comes shuffling out of the tent, she finds Alice is sprinkling sort of an off-red powder onto a bowl, which she then hands to Hazel, and just the smell, you could get the sinus clearing.
I agree. What's in this?
Well, lots of different things, but the red stuff I just sprinkled on is sort of a northern specialty. It's called burn lichen.
Immediately trying this.
Given the multiple successful rolls, it's yet again basically she's made Teen Galar.
Jesus.
Like my face is completely red. I'm just
Good.
kidding.
Same shade as your shirt.
Concerned by the red face, comforted by the grinning. Doesn't
Don't-
say a word.
Don't worry. I only put that amount in hers. I know that some of you guys have a bit more of a sensitive palate than that.
I'm basically like all but inhaling this stuff now.
Yeah, food'll do you good. And dishes out. Not bad stew. It's a bit heavy probably for a day of desert trekking, but for an evening meal, it's fine. It's one of those stick to your ribs things that you probably get more in cold countries.
Did she hear everything that was going on with when Hazel was grabbing Ava or not?
She heard struggling noises, but by that point Alice has made it a point to, when some of the sillier stuff starts, try not to get too involved. It's probably not killing anybody, so that's okay. She knows the difference between somebody is getting attacked and somebody's being ridiculous. So, okay, wanted to kind of combination. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just like to say something, just kind of get through it and get it over with. I
Okay.
just want to thank you all, and I owe you all more than I already have, and I'm sorry I keep getting us dragged into places where big scary things attack us, and I'm very, very grateful for being brought back, but I also want to say that if that hadn't worked, it was fine too. I'm very, very grateful. At least me being stupid didn't get anyone else killed.
Well, first of all, it wouldn't be fine with me, which kind of leads into the conversation I need to have with you guys. But I'll let the people who've been hanging out with you longer weigh in before I do anything. But I will also flag up very briefly this. You guys are adventurers. Big scary things are going to attack you anyway. I don't know about them, but I'm happier if the being attacked by things is helpful to someone I give a shit about. Yeah.
And
We go out, we punch things.
I just cause extra, like more than necessary, big scary things to come after us.
Remi nods at that.
Technically true, but I'm just going to say one thing on that is basically my whole response to all of that. Your family.
Seconded. Also, Remi, you will
Yes?
end up with a finger in your ear if you say it again.
We don't know well,
Oh, I know what you
Also-
were thinking.
Sorry, go ahead, Mabel.
don't mind her. She's just poking Ree the angry bear. It's a thing they do.
Alright. Also, speaking of big scary things causing, extra problems, I should probably mention there's a possibility I'll bring some somehow. I don't even know how or if.
I feel like that's
Let her
different
talk.
though.
Let her talk. You don't know
okay.
until she talks.
Did I tell anyone else but Hazel? No, not yet, have I?
You told no one about the thing but me.
All right,
I know what you're thinking. Just
Yeah.
say it.
just checking. So you guys know I'm from Baronsville, just like Darvin over there. And one of the main reasons I went to join the Brass Arrow was to take down the scaly shithead that's sat its fat ass there now. Part of the reason for that being he's most likely the father of my half sister, who is responsible, directly or indirectly, I'm not entirely sure, for raising my household and giving me this.
So your half sister's half dragon.
Thank you. I was about, yeah, that's where I was about to go.
Yeah, that would be right.
Yep.
Okay.
Complicated.
And removing
Just a
the big scaly shithead from Baronsvere is probably gonna piss off Sister Dearest.
Possibly.
I mean, worth it.
So, okay, we just took down, well, temporarily, somebody's gonna have to find the whatever phylactery thing for that, but we just took down a Dracolich. I don't think you're. Do you prefer sister or half sister?
She's nothing to me, so whichever.
Okay, half scaly bitch queen.
That's actually quite good. I like that.
I like that one. I'm gonna write that down.
Well, she did give. She pretended to be a friend, then showed her true nature, and we fought. I was not prepared, and I do not want that to repeat itself. So let's say I have less than warm feelings toward her.
So, two-faced, scaly handbag with pretensions. Also on the list of things we need to stab.
Handbag with pretensions. I love it.
The delusions of grandeur.
I'm liking it more and more, I would say.
That's actually a very good thing because, okay, since we're on the subject of shithead families, now it's been bandied around before you joined them, Ava, actually, so you probably need to weigh in a bit more than the rest of them on this one. The idea of me tagging along more than just the odd mission has been floated. I've been a bit cagey about it for a couple of reasons. Mostly in that I don't want to hamper your mobility. I explained in very broad strokes to the rest of them why Belarus, major transport hub, is not a good place for me to be. I think you're the only one who doesn't know this, Ava. My parents were criminals, like pretty significant criminals, and when I was a kid, they got me involved in it because I could fit into places they couldn't, and I thought it was just a game, at least until the first time I noted somebody got fired and had their wages docked for what we took. So I kind of started staying away from home quite a lot, and they had to find other avenues, and gods know they weren't gonna work for a living.
Mhm.
And as I told them, I made friends with the son of an adventurer, and one of one of this guy's adventuring party mates had that more long-term message sending thing, and told Edric, he was my friend Dwarf. He was nice. I liked him. That they were on their way back, but that uh, their ship been attacked by harpies and they were kind of banged up. So if he could bring like bandages or maybe a couple of healing potions, that'd be great.
Mhm.
Turned out my parents had been looking into uh, meeting up adventuring parties in that situation and selling them fake healing potions. They'd overheard, and what we found when we were looking around the place was that whatever they used to, I don't know, color or flavor, I'm not a herbalist. All I know is that whatever was in that, Edric said was really poisonous. So I told him if I wasn't back in an hour to take that as evidence and go to the guard, and went to try and see if I could stop it. I mean, they were my parents. Still are, I guess. I was too late. Mostly. The only one who was still really breathing, barely, was Edric's dad. That's how I found out I could do the healing thing. Well, I wasn't entirely sure what it was I'd done at the time. Obviously, Mom and Dad were not actually happy with the fact that I'd stepped in, because if they all died, if you kill them, you get their stuff. Um, I may have glossed over the they tried to kill me thing and probably gave the impression of flailing a blade at me or something. No, I picked up the half-orc's axe as much to block their way so they couldn't start cutting throats as anything else. I was 13. I wasn't as strong as I am now. Dad disarmed me, grabbed me by the arm, dragged me to the edge of the airship platform, and threw me off. If I wasn't what I am, I'd be dead now. Because looks at Remi, you know the one, the west dock, the one that's just on the cliff edge. That would have been 500 feet straight down. Nope. So yeah, I panicked. I did the wings thing. I went back up, picked the axe up again, and told them to stop.
I'm assuming they didn't.
They did, mostly because they were freaking out. I mean, when your kid sprouts wings and does that, they called me an abomination. And I know what they did in the end when they left. They did what they always do when trouble finds when trouble finds them or when they get found out. They would have hid out in one of the neighboring towns for a few months until the heat died down, and then come back in business as usual. And they said that the next time they saw me, they would finish the job properly. So
They want to try? We're gonna kill him. Hell, we should go there and get rid of him anyway.
Remy gives
They
Hazel
seem
a
like
look
terrible people.
before going for the
They should
shoulder
be
hug
stopped.
before I would say.
pat, on that one, it's more just a back pat than anything else. I mean, it's been a long time, but I just don't want to bring my trouble to you.
Well, I mean, I think at this point we're all bringing each other's trouble.
Yeah, but that's different.
We are good at handling trouble.
I mean, it was my trouble that started this whole thing.
Yeah, but that's different. That's your trouble. That's not my trouble. My trouble is my trouble.
I'm pretty sure we've all brought our own flavor of trouble to this group.
And as far as I'm concerned, you're all family, so your troubles are my
And-
trouble.
And your trouble is specifically family related, shitty family related. Anyone who is that shitty deserves to die.
Mm,
Well, to be fair, they did poison an entire adventuring party, so I'm not entirely disinclined to argue.
sorry,
Like full Studio
Hazel's
Ghibli, my hair's going.
Hazel's had a bit of a experience with bad family and finding better family, and it's a thing. And sorry, um,
No, that's fine. I can't.
My mom did not give me an actual name until I was 5 years old. Plus, if she'd been allowed to, she probably would have killed me.
I thought my stuff was bad.
Well, your mom sounds like her face needs an introduction to my axe. Pats
Agreed.
Hazel on
She
the head.
sounds like a terrible person.
Some
yeah.
elves don't like half elves. But if that's the case, why do they bone humans?
Fuck
The
if I
original,
know.
the exotic aspect, I guess.
anyway,
I don't know.
Anyway,
The point being was that, if you don't mind that Bellarise might get a little
complicated.
unfortunate.
Ah,
Unfortunate for others, maybe.
yeah.
By the way, out of character, I don't think I can properly replicate the look on Nai's face after that last conversation. I'll just have to imagine it.
Well, I mean, complicated as in might get into fights.
Possibly.
we'll figure it out.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I mean,
Yeah.
if it enables me to grow stronger, I'm all down for that. Quite honestly, I'm still nowhere. After that, I know I'm still nowhere near ready. So.
I don't think any of us are really ready to face that kind of thing yet. There was skill involved. I'm not saying that there wasn't, but we got lucky.
We
Oh
did.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we did.
Speaking of, I was here and there and as I could, I'd been going through some books that Clarity had left, and after getting whammied more than once, I'd been trying a few things out, and I think I figured out a way to kind of not necessarily keep it from happening, but at least make it easier to shake off if it does.
Yeah, most bards figure that out around about. I mean, you started learning what, a few months ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot, so it's been kind of a crash course.
You'd be surprised how many bards get those. Mostly because they either have to sing, magic, or fuck their way out of trouble. That they have in turn sung, magicked, or fucked their way into.
Into exactly. Out of character, counter charm. It's a thing I can do now, where for the length of until the end of my following turn, everybody within 30 feet that can hear me gets advantage on saving throws for being charmed and or frightened.
Cool.
So like Remi's tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
That is handy.
Mm-hmm. Also, a lot of the things I've done to this point, a lot of them are, sound, the thunder wave, the shatter, things like that, and those are great. But I think I figured out a way to single target, yay, with force, out of character, magic missile. So I can do that now. It's not great, but in a pinch, and at a range, I can do it.
You mean magic missile's not great? You put enough oomph into it, and that's a game changer.
It's
Well,
kind of like
I haven't been able to use it in a actual situation. I don't know.
So
But
we'll
It's a lot
see.
like that.
Yep.
It's a lot like that beam of burning light I can occasionally throw around. It hits hard enough, it pops things.
And like the thing that Nai does.
I'd say the missiles might be a bit more potent than that, given it.
Yeah, but
Actually,
And
wait a
hopefully-
minute. You've been on the receiving end of magic missile. The ocean hag threw it at you twice.
And hopefully you have a little bit better aim than I tend to.
dude, you were facing down a Dracolich, okay? Just the fact you had the
Also,
cojones.
Oh,
magic missile doesn't require aim.
Right.
And I missed. The thing was right in my face, as big as a proverbial, I don't know, giant tree, and I missed. How did I miss?
You panicked. It happens.
Yeah,
That
I
a lot
panicked.
happens.
You know what? Speaking of sound, I had a thought. By the way, I heard what you said about singing about me. How does this sound to you? In the face of mortal danger, Nai of the Lost Name was polite. Mr. Dragon, you're welcome.
Hey, thing is though that actually that's a good way of handling it because
Yeah.
it does hide the fact that you're shitting your pants scared.
And about to take a shot at him.
I mean,
I
you were
love you.
you were metaphorically wearing your brown pants.
It's an old pirate joke. It's
Oh, you know that one.
I've think about where I used to work.
Point. Yeah.
Pirates,
Anyway.
like those people who go around on boats and take other people's stuff.
Yes, and when they're about to get boarded, the brave captain says, "Bring me my red shirt," and they are victorious. And then a little while later, the bosun calls, "There's 3 ships on the horizon," and he calls yet again, "Bring me my red shirt," and he puts on his red shirt, and they are victorious. Whereupon the bosun asks, "So, Captain, why is it that whenever we're about to be boarded, you call for your red shirt?" And the captain says, "It is because when I wear it, if you cut me, you cannot see me bleed." And the guy in the crow's nest suddenly calls, "10 ships!" And they all look to the captain, expecting the familiar call. And the captain says, "Bring me my brown pants!"
Oh,
So-
a bodily waste joke.
Yes.
Yes, basically. But it was. I mean, it was great. The fact that in the face of all of that, you still did your best at the time. That is admirable. Okay,
I did
yeah,
my best.
you missed. So what?
That
You
took
tried,
guts.
and that
Besides,
counts for a lot.
And you could actually be polite to it. I just mouthed off.
Hell,
As I
you
said at the
said
time, it's
something
what
at all.
you do.
I was quite literally speechless in the moment.
Well,
Me.
Well, it was looking
voice.
that far. I had to say something.
It was looking at him too, and he didn't say shit.
So you give yourself not enough credit. Anyway, there might be a few other things I can do, but I'm still working out the details.
Yeah,
But,
work out the details before you bring them into a combat situation.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think one of them. I don't think is. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Anyway,
Work out the bugs, and then you'll do the thing.
so I wanted to see. I mean,
Wait, bugs? Where?
no.
not those bugs, no.
It's I think the origin of that one comes in from bed bugs. I heard the story about the horrible tavern these guys stayed in.
Oh yeah, the raven. The
That
raven's
was the
nest.
worst
No,
tavern.
the blind harpy.
Blind Harpy. That's what it was.
The blind harpy was so awful. I slept outside, and it was much better.
You slept that. Was it raining that night?
Yes,
And that was still better.
yes.
You know, it was. It honestly was. It took quite a. Oh God.
That place was disgusting.
Yeah, I think I ended up. I don't. No, I don't. I think I got rid of the shirt I was wearing that night, but I can't remember if I burned it or not.
See,
don't think
that's
so.
you see, that's why Equitas as a country actually has. I mean, usually the cities have kind of inspectors that'll, at the very least, insist that bugs don't happen.
Anyway, so that's a little bit what I've managed to work out. Um, so hopefully, I mean, yes, it would have been great to have to be able to have get rid of the getting whammied when we were up against the Dracolich, but like I said,
Yeah,
it, it,
Ethan,
it took that last little bit for me to
I
really.
probably would have saved the I can do this now until the next morning, but
Yeah, well, I mean,
Eh.
I was still working
from
out the details.
no,
And,
from an out of character perspective, but yeah.
oh, yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine. It sometimes timing is a thing. While this has been going on, Alice has been putting together something that vaguely resembles dessert, mostly in Hazel's case, cranberry apple preserve sandwich kind of thing.
Anyway, yeah, so that's what was going on with me for a little while there.
Yeah, I think most of these guys are starting to fade already.
Mm-hmm. And I'll take as much watch as I can. First.
I figure, I mean, as I've been thinking about our watch rotation, and while two people is kind of beneficial, why don't we just have one who can be like, who can promise to be really, really loud in waking people up?
I can do that.
I think we can all do that. It's will we?
Mm,
Well, we don't necessarily think of it. That's true.
I'm
Well,
game for doing that.
you're not on watch tonight.
Yeah, this is
I
so.
know.
This is so you and Froseth and Nai can get some bloody sleep.
But that still sounds like a good idea.
I would have said we could use like a thing, except that might attract whatever trouble we're noticing. So,
Use what thing?
Yeah, you
like a
broke it.
horn or something.
Well, by that point they've noticed us anyway, so I'd
Mhm.
suggest either yelling or banging on a shield,
I guess.
because as far as I can tell, Ree does not like yelling. Unless it's in the heat of battle. Or, Anyway.
Anyway.
What?
Turning red a little bit on Darwin's just like, anyway.
All I was going to say before I tell these three to either go to bed before I put them there. That's the question. Are you guys okay with me hanging around long term? Because I don't want anything to happen to you.
I'm fine with it, honestly. Don't worry.
yes, we're okay with it.
We're staying glued to you and vice versa.
Not literally, please.
Yeah, that's gonna get awkward.
I've been glued to people by accident before. It's not fun.
How did? Yeah, I don't
This
want to
doesn't
know.
surprise me.
You probably don't know.
Yeah.
So yes.
Was that before or after you fell out of the tree?
Okay, look. When they're properly rested, then we can have Hazel's top 10 embarrassing moments. Until then, let them get some fucking rest.
Go.
Only
Everybody,
10?
everybody
you.
go. I'll take
I
first
said
watch.
top. I said top 10. If we had to list all of them, we'd probably be here for the next month.
And we need to go to Egref soon. We need the last pieces.
We need to go to
Right.
Heaven's Ward too.
Yeah, I think what she's trying to say is, can the Heavens Ward wait until after you've made sure that nothing is gonna happen to her hometown? Because wasn't there a time frame on that?
Mm-hmm. We need to go back.
Okay, yeah,
Would
that's
be
fair.
understandable, yeah.
And there's okay, fine. Getting to some place where you can get rapid transit is, from ass end of nowhere, Baronsphere is probably a little bit tricky, but it's once you get across the mountain ranges, it's still possible. And actually tucks Hazel under her arm and sticks her in a bed.
Okay, that works. Never mind.
Okay. Nai is in an awkward position as regards rest because he doesn't sleep per se. He's still lying down because sitting up is a bit too much like effort, but he's not as asleep as, say, Furseth and Hazel are. So he comes he comes out of trance a bit, enough to hear, well done, my champion, His Majesty.
Yeah, I was pretty well done myself.
Wait, oops, sorry. I was muted.
Were you not so entertaining outside my halls, I would strongly consider keeping you as my jester. That was quite good.
It might be safer for my friends. Despite what they said, I still don't feel like I have a right to pull them behind me into dangerous situations. I hope this thing was worth it.
He takes it and tucks it away. I think you will find that out for yourself in due time, whether it was worth it or not. In the meantime, however, you'd already had the name, and I have to admit I was slightly responsible for that. The dark force that took your friends' minds away was not my doing. The suggestion that brought the small near dwarfish paladin a little closer to finding the fate of her friend. That, however, you can thank me for. However, that seems insufficient payment, particularly given that the name was given you a bit indirectly. So
The name?
your cousin's name.
Yes, about that. I just realized earlier, after I woke up, that was some poor payment.
Yes,
'Cause
and that's why I'm
they were
offering.
going there anyway.
However, had you not had the Azamar, you wouldn't have been able to translate it. And if I had not sent the suggestion that brought you to actually investigate the crashed individuals, you wouldn't have had anyone who could have given you the name.
There is
However,
that.
however, since you make something of a point, I offer something else. I'm going to ensure that this cousin of yours is at least on the right continent to find you again. And then it's gone.
Equal volume of spiders, equal volume of spiders. I'm not going to go back to sleep or trance or whatever after that, so I'm going to poke my nose outside the tent.
And now we roll the hand of fate. 1, 2, 3. Darvin is currently on watch.
Oh, hey. Are you okay?
His Majesty had a word with me.
So
Nothing
that's a
new,
no.
nothing
Oh.
new to do, but it's hard to go
Okay.
back to sleep after that. They have a certain
Yeah, I
certain
noticed.
presence to them. You've seen it.
Yeah. Kid's still creepy.
Mm.
I mean-
Creepy. The creepy kid. I wonder what. Well, I'm not going to ask for its name, but I wonder what to call it if I ever want to call for it.
How about not?
Well, I might need to get in touch with them, and calling for their herald might be a little easier than calling for them themselves. And oh, did I use the word them enough in that sentence?
There is a certain
certainly-
sense that it's probably better than it.
I was about to say, it certainly illustrates the diversity of the word. Yeah, pull up some desert.
Sam.
I was gonna
Trusted
say
is-
pull up. I was gonna pull up some sand, but I didn't want to bring back any bad memories of
Yeah, I'm
Or-
not sure I want to. I'm not sure I want to dig here. I might not like what I'd find.
not with our luck. Anyway,
Yeah. So I'll just be out here.
okay. Yeah, it's been quiet so far.
And if you do the ears thing, at least there'll be somebody else around.
Oh, yeah. Is it switched over? Have we? Was it? That's usually only once a day, and I did that once already.
Hmm.
So I should
Yeah,
be
but-
good.
You don't know whether the turning point is dawn or midnight.
Mm.
Or
But,
or
yeah,
sunsets.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know exactly when it switches, when it counts. So yeah, probably a good idea. Hadn't considered that when I offered to go on watch. Thank you. We kind of were talking about other things. Although, frankly, even as a bunny, I could probably still manage to wake up at least one of y'all.
Well, I'm just picturing you hopping into the tent and hopping up and down frantically on the nearest person.
Oh yeah, there would be paws in the face. Oh yeah, that
Or
would be a thing.
You could just bite.
Around some of these people, you might end up getting snuggled and squeezed and squished.
He would probably have to not
wind up
pick
dead.
Hazel.
Squish me hard enough, I'd wind up dead. Anyway.
Please don't talk about dead. I'm still.
Oh, geez, sorry. Oh, that was. Ooh, wow. Yeah. Oops.
Hey, I'm fine with dying myself. I mean, it was a great comfort to find that there was, oh, there's my dead body, but I'm still okay. This is not so bad. I can live with. Oh well, bad choice of words there, but
Hey, it's not just me. All right.
but I'm just glad that little stunt didn't get anyone else killed.
Actually, it kind of did.
We're all here though. We are all here, right?
Right. Early
So,
on.
looking back at the tent, thinking about no, everyone's accounted for.
Yeah,
What are you
no,
talking
everyone's
about?
alive. Very early on, we were given life wards, and through
Does
one
I know
thing,
what
and
that is?
I think you'd probably get it from context.
exactly. Life words, literally that. I mean, if you die, you don't quite die. Well, through one thing and another, some of them got tripped. Then, due to circumstances I'm not going into, they were restored, and during that, two of them were tripped. Hazel and Froseth were next to you when.
I knew Froseth was next to me. I thought he got missed. Hazel was way back there.
Yeah, but it was a very long blast.
No wonder Froseth looks pale. Well,
Mhm.
paler.
Yeah. But so technically, yeah, not really your fault. I mean, it was just the thing took an opportunity. People were bunched up. It took an opportunity.
Well, it
yes.
was my.
Yeah, I know. It was. I know. Yes.
Well-
Okay. Technically, your fault that we were there in the first place. But if it hadn't been that, it would have been something else. At least we were all together.
The thing I'm thinking about is whether it was my fault we were fighting it.
Technically, probably, but it doesn't matter because if it would have been something.
I mean, once it was there. I mean, I've been thinking a lot about the fact I started that fight, but
Yeah, and if you hadn't, I was going to.
well, I knew Alice nor Remi were going to back down, and the rest of us were going to back them up. So
Exactly.
yeah.
You beat me to it, and frankly, that like I was saying before, that level of bravery is commendable. It seriously is, and if you keep downing yourself like that, you're gonna wind up making me write you an inspirational song. At least you have a name that I can easily rhyme.
I like Nai of the Lost Name. It has a ring to it.
I can still rhyme the word name. I can work with that.
Or past, maybe past.
Yeah, I can still work with that.
If you make me multi-class you into Bard, Ben, I swear to fucking God.
We'd end up with 3 of them in the party, ultimately.
Possibly.
Anyway,
Right.
So, assuming that that conversation winds itself down, Remy has lost watch of the evening. Is Nai staying out there with her?
Yep.
So yeah, Remy comes out, relieves Darvin, and there's Nai sitting there.
thank you, Remy.
Just,
Good night.
good night. Just steps up besides Nai and nods to him.
Looks up, nods.
This awkward moment is actually interrupted by a rather large figure standing about 20 feet away. Rather tall. White wings. Point to
Remy.
Remy. Come here, you.
out.
It's the
It's the Solar, yes.
mental thought. It's the father-in-law conversation. I don't want to be able to hear that.
Meet the
That's already
parents!
had that.
Oh, good.
Nai is going to do the nod thing again and retreat into the tent.
No. Nai. You keep watch. I'm gonna step
All right.
out. Thank you.
Brave Sir Robin, bravely ran away.
She
Bravely
would have
ran
asked Nai to
away.
step in, but the Soar, decided to step off. So Remy goes after him.
You had quite the battle earlier.
Yes, that was unexpected, but it's what we do.
Yes, you're not as well equipped to do that as you could be.
Remy just looks up at him at that implication.
And then just taps her on the chest plate. Let's change that. Bink, and that burn feeling flares again before it subsides. And for a moment, you can actually feel the celestial fire just infuse you.
Remy kind of flinches, but tries not to flinch and goes very tense.
First thing I'll be doing is teaching you how to use that. We'll get you to a point where one of your little quirks, as I understand it, is you will not be without your sword. You do not like being without your sword.
No, it's come with my multiple professions.
Well, at the very least, we will ensure over time that you are never without your sword, even if you don't appear to be carrying it. But we're not there yet. If I tried to load too much into you, it would be very harmful. But for now, you do have a different sort of power than Paladin Oaths give you. Let's teach you how to use it.
Remy just
We
nods slowly.
have an investment in you and your surviving in times to come. This should help.
We, as in you and Pelor.
Among others. You haven't earned that answer yet. At which point, Nai sees sort of over a sand dune there's a certain amount of light show for about 20-30 minutes as Remy picks up some rather interesting new skills as our first multi-classer.
So Eldritch Sight, or whatever it is, the magic sight on for half a second, then off into owl.
Yeah. Although to be fair, make me I'm gonna be nice and call it intelligence. Check. Natural 20. Although you didn't have advantage. I'll give it to you anyway because of the interesting circumstances. I think you had it. Do you think you had it toggled for something else?
I must have had it toggled, but for no reason.
Anyway, I'll be nice and give you the nat 20 because it makes a certain amount of sense. You've had Eldritch Sight for a little while, and you've seen what the pact bond between yourself and your patrons looks like. It's complicated and difficult to explain or describe, but at the very least it doesn't look like chains.
Trees from roots that looks like warlock magic.
Except with a divine bent.
Huh.
So, yeah, the Solar teaches Remi the first new tricks, and use them well, and it's gone.
Remy just nods very quickly.
And I'm assuming heads back to the tent where you've got Nai.
Basically.
Remy just gives him a look back.
The quietest conversation ever.
Yeah, those two just, yeah. Is anything further going to come of this?
Not unless Nai uses words, because Remy doesn't want to,
Be
unless
right
pressed.
back.
It might be nice if someone used words because one of the people who has to be awake has wandered AFK.
Yeah, well, rightly or wrongly, Nye thinks he knows what's going on, so he's not going to ask.
Yeah, Remy's not gonna explain unless prompted.
Yeah, well, in all fairness, there is one other individual that's been more or less quiet throughout all this. Flitty lands on top of Nye's head and asks, "What's going on? Why did it get glowy?"
Oh, I'm not sure of the exact reasons, but thing that where I can see magic and the details of the magic, that looked a lot like what I can throw around. So between one thing and another, I think Remy just learned some new tricks.
Looking upside down at Nye from the top of his head, and flies over to Remy, lands on top of her head, a little upside down face.
Hi, Flitty. Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Contemplates for a moment, flies into the tent, flies out rather awkwardly with little green paws full of squidgy bears. "Please tell her to take them before I drop any!" Because remember, Remy doesn't speak any of the languages Flitty does.
So that was Sylvan to Nye.
You're
muted.
You are muted.
Flitty says catch.
Remy takes up. Thank you, Flitty.
Yes, and around about this point, as everybody else is waking up for the day, Darvin stretches and rabbit in the middle of his bed.
I saw him with the ears in hand just a minute ago.
Well, he's getting it out of the way. Although Nye goes in to check on everybody, and in the middle of Darvin's bed, squirming out from under the blanket, is Bunny.
Little nose, just bleary, blink, blink.
Blanket
just,
lift, rabbit coming
yeah,
out.
basically. Yeah, just looking very bleary and just big bunny yawn. Just,
3 hours.
and that's when I realized, oh, I'm a bunny.
Well, that must have got a lot bigger. So yeah.
Looking down over the edge of the bed. Hop. Whee!
You don't want to do that?
Can I tell it's too high to do that?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
I'm not going to be that mean to you because you said wee before I had to start rolling full damage for your 1 hit point ass. 2, okay, but still.
Technically 2.
Okay, I vote from now on we put Darvin, the possible bunny, on a bottom bunk.
I thought I was on a bottom bunk.
To be fair, 3 beds, 3 people who needed to.
Oh. I didn't realize. Okay, in that case, yeah, if I was on the top, I wouldn't have done that. Sorry. I thought I was on bottom, that's why I said that.
This is a bit like a friend of mine who
Oh, the one that jumped out the window.
Yeah, the immortal words, and I swear in this exact tone of voice, I run down the corridor and jump out the window. Oh crap, what floor am I on?
I had a player once throw himself off a cliff in plate armor because he calculated maximum falling damage was less than his max HP. I was like, Kenny, you just jumped off a cliff in a metal bodysuit. You're dead.
Yeah, exponential. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
gonna
so-
now I'm basically just hopping circles around the bed trying to figure out how to get down.
Yeah, so you guys wake up with not watching Nai watch this bunny hop in circles around the bed.
Cammy.
Yeah, Ava can catch him easily enough.
Because I'm deliberately trying to be caught.
Well, that's our morning excitement, I hope.
Yeah, you guys, the exhausted ones are feeling mostly better.
Woo! Good morning, Paylor.
Yeah, Remy probably kind of flinches at that because it's only just recently that his right hand was by.
Yeah, pays a little bit more attention to Hazel than normal.
I'm gonna shuffle outside, go through. Well, this is far past morning, but I'm still doing morning prayer.
Fair enough. Yes, morning prayers, breakfast. Alice going. So, a quick trip back to Alzor High. Just to get an airship out to Egrev.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to stop at the Pixie. If we're going by there. I made a promise, and the best way I can fulfill some of it is, like I say, we serve merchants and storytellers and people who travel a lot. I think if I bat my eyelashes and ask real nicely, I can get people sending anyone who fits a certain description to a convenient meeting spot. What's the name of that little town you live in, Hazel?
Goldendale.
And did your mother's place have a name?
Hearthhome.
Okay, if somebody asks in Goldendale, they'd know to point.
Yep.
Okay, I'm just making sure that if I'm gonna make sure that anyone who sees this individual says that there's someone looking for her, I want to make sure that people would be able to point her at a spot where you conveniently meet up.
Yep.
I figure do that in enough places and... So, we ready to get a move on? From here, I think we've got a day and some travel to get back. I mean, do we have enough dried fruit for Bunny Darvin?
I'm yanking out one of the various bizarro fruits we've got.
Oh
I
god,
wonder
she
if you
got a
like-
plush bunny.
Aw. I wonder if bunnies can eat squidgy bears.
I don't you need your molars for that? Well, I suppose they have molars, but you want to try it? It's not a healthy breakfast, damn it.
I'm like halfway through cracking open one of the
I'll keep
pomegranate.
Darvin's
keep
gonna
an eye out
die, I'm
for
gonna say
things.
so.
Just holding it out in front of Darvin.
You've got Flitty on top of Hazel's head going, everybody's starting their morning with squidgy bears. I gave the Remi lady some squidgy bears. There's congratulations.
Yay! Here's the other half of the pomegranate if you want it.
A little bit much for me, but I'll have a couple of the seeds.
Yeah, and now I'm covered in pomegranate juice, which is red, and I look really, really weird.
You look like some sort of killer bunny.
That's gonna get...
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, that's
He's
it.
off my shoulder so it doesn't get all over.
Yeah, prestidigitation. Juice removal.
Yes, because otherwise you would have looked like you've just been attacked by a vampire bunny.
Thank you.
Banicula.
Banicula!
I was just about to say, yeah. So, yeah. I am assuming breakfast happens.
No, we ready to move?
Yeah, breakfast happens, and we're like, Alice is like, well, we've got a couple of options. We travel with Bunny Darvin.
Well,
Okay, we travel with Bunny Darvin and
we
pray.
may as well make as much time as we can.
Yeah,
and
we
pray we
get
don't run
moving.
into anything before he turns back.
I think we can handle it.
Mhm.
As long as it's not another Dracolich.
It's not so much. It's not so much that. It's that bunnies are not very hard to kill.
Well, you just have to hop away and hide, I guess. You can do that, can't you?
Are bunnies particularly fast
They're pretty
Quick
fast.
like bunny.
in sand? He hasn't got sand hair legs.
Oh,
I start making like
Uh,
big digging motions in the air.
that's
Oh,
a valid.
he'll dig himself a hole, I think he's trying to say.
Just don't suffocate.
Yeah, the fact of running in the sand is a valid point, which I hadn't
Oh boy.
considered.
I
mean,
wonder
if you...
I wonder if we need to commission a little tiny suit of armor.
Well, let's just hope we can. Let's just hope. Actually,
yeah.
there's a point. Do you reckon that the identification and at least temporary stalling of a Dracolich that they now know to look for the phylactery for? Do you think that the help he was in, is that not a big enough thing? Is it not worth even trying?
I'd say it's worth bringing up, but it's up to them whether or not it's a big enough thing.
Yeah, but looking at him, and it's like, it doesn't even seem to be considering it as a possibility. Doofus Bunny! Rumples the fur in the back.
Oh,
Oh?
I had a thought regarding one of my spells, but it only works on oneself. Bunny Armor of Agathis.
Well, is that a spell we can maybe learn?
But he can't do it as a bunny, even if he could.
Fair point.
But actually, there's a good point. He doesn't have bunny armor of Agathis, but when I rage, you guys get something similar. It just doesn't attack back.
Yeah.
So he'll be
That's something.
he'll be twice as hard to kill, but that's not saying much. Because
that's
double
something.
of something very small is still very small.
Well, it's better than nothing at all, I guess.
That's very true. But,
We'll just have to keep him safe if he is a bunny.
because that's gonna happen one day. If
Probably,
you don't
yeah.
if you don't get him changed back proper soon, it's gonna happen.
Most likely.
Yeah.
What do you got, Flitty?
It's actually a miracle it's not...
Hasn't happened yet. Yeah. Do you wanna hang out in my haversack with Flitty? I'm pretty good at keeping track of the sun, so I can take you out to, once an hour just to check. I mean, we're at the 1 hour mark now, and you haven't changed back yet. So we've got.
It's not like the bag of holding, is it?
No, it's just an actual bag. Otherwise, Flitty
Okay.
wouldn't. Flitty
Right.
seems to like living in it,
Okay.
and in Sylvan. She keeps cookies in here. I think they're actually for me, but don't say anything because I think she wants to seem tougher than she is. Head back in the bag.
This is just me nothing, not Ava, because she didn't understand that.
I don't want to know. Do I want to know? Takes Darvin from where he's. It takes Darvin from Ava. Okay, there's food in there, because when Flitty started hiding in it, I started putting food in there. And yeah, actually Flitty's made a kind of a nest of her clothes, and there's a bag of cookies.
It's like, at first I'm up like this, just sort of looking around, and then I'm just like, I kind of not, the best I can do, the best shrug I can do with kitty body or bunny body, and just sort of, oh well, and just hunker down and snooze.
On that note, we're not far off usual break time, so we'll take our 5 minutes now, and when we come back, we will see if your luck continues to hold as regards beast encounters with Bunny Bard. And we're back. The gang with Darvin Bunny are making their way back in the general direction of Alzor High. Kind of hoping they don't run into anything, at least not before their bard gets turned back into a human being. Perception check, y'all.
Prepare for two fun.
I'm still
times.
asleep.
Yeah, okay, everybody but Darvin.
Yeah, I'm still
Oh,
asleep.
plus
in
he's
back.
in the haversack, so yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no, natural 11.
This is gonna be amazing.
12.
And another fucking
Oh
natural
my
11.
god!
Oh dear.
Wow.
2 nat ones, an 18, a 12, a 10.
Yeah, okay, so...
We are in so much trouble.
Yeah, okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. In a way, I'm going to be kind. Remi, probably heading the group, as she's the one in all
Yep.
the armor and then the shield, and Alice sort of flanking her, but a little bit back because she remembers their recent conversation and is going to at least give Ree this win. Kind of has to stop because a rather large scorpion bursts out of the ground directly in front of her and lashes out with Stinger. You are so fucking lucky you managed to dash it off on the shield in the opposite direction to where Alice is. And unfortunately, okay, we're gonna have to start setting up where you guys are now. So let's move you back to the. Hang on, I'm gonna have to, because it's way at the back there. My old desert camp map. That'll do. So let's. No, that's all unspeakable horrors. I don't need unspeakable horrors yet. Free assets, there we go.
The
Dungeon
horrors that dare
Masters.
not speak their names.
I
Well, what's their names?
actually found and purchased whole bits and pieces on black tentacle critters.
The unspeakable
That sounds
horror.
delightful.
What's this name? Oh, I dare not speak it.
I hate you so much. Why? Okay, why are there no giant scorpions?
A question we wish we were asking.
Right?
Well, you kind of wanted giant scorpions at one point, and yeah,
Who are the giant scorpions?
Hazel.
you have a bounty.
Whoever
Oh,
set that
yes,
bounty.
that's true. Yes, that's true.
Yes, we have. Never mind.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to use spiders. So let's figure out where you guys are. Okay, so we'll put Remi kind
Did you
of.
just say spiders, plural spiders?
Well, yeah, but they're going to be scorpions. We're just using them as placeholders.
Right, but that also means scorpions, plural scorpions.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. I'll stick the rest of you in later. Okay, one at a time. Darvin. Oh no, Darvin's in.
Yeah, I'm bunny. I'm in.
In which case, I'll use you as Alice says for the moment, so you're kind of there. Froseth.
I'd either be somewhere in the middle or bringing up the rear, depending on what we're looking.
Well,
Seeing it happening.
you've just been ambling, so we'll put
Yeah.
you back there for the time being.
'Kay.
Hazel?
Okay. I'm near Froseth, about there.
Okay. Oop. Ava?
I'd probably be about here.
Okay. Nai? Why do you wander so far from the rest of the group? Always so
two-
far away from the rest of the group.
2 reasons. First, clear shots forward and back, knowing that I have a ranged weapon. Second, not wanting to form an adventurer pile. And 3, due to his experiences, not wanting to form a conga line, neither.
Fair enough. So
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, given all of the experiences from
All of his
Nile
experiences involve
recently,
things getting thrown at-
yeah, at a group, at a bunch. So that's actually that's reasonable. I get you.
Yes, although in all fairness, it does do rather unfortunate things because the second one turns up right about there. Right, so let me just find a. I'll have Darvin standing in as Alisay for the time being.
Hmm.
And you've been on the road almost 2 hours, almost 2 extra hours, so you might be turning back soon, might not. You don't know. All you know is that there's this clang sound of something chitinous meeting shield, and I would like you all, yes, including Darvin, to roll initiative.
Coming right up.
Oh my god.
Whoa!
20!
4.
Hey, pull out my
23.
Holy shit!
What is it
That's
with
a-
everybody in the nat 20s today?
My case
Okay.
wasn't even natural. It just tumbled out.
Yeah, it's because Froseth and Alisay both rolled nat 20s.
Yes.
And I think that means they both start at the same time.
23. Yeah, it's not a natural though. It's a 23. Although that should have been with
Oh my
advantage. Why did
God.
it only roll once? Huh. Well, anyway.
Why
Oh,
did she roll twice?
She rolled once. It didn't go through. She clicked it again and then lost connection.
It dumped both of
Oh,
them
I see. She's having
immediately
some.
afterwards.
Internet issues. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm taking the first one, so I guess it's good that she rolled low. Okay, so
I'm not gonna bother rolling again. I clicked advantage. It's just odd that it didn't. But, oh well.
so that's
It's been weird with advantage. Remember, my earlier roll took advantage.
Mhm. Yeah.
The tab was not checked. I have no idea what happened there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll go with the 23.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, I'm figuring a scorpion just came up under my feet, and I tumbled backwards on my butt, and I'm sitting there looking at it.
I just realized how appropriate Ava's icon is.
Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Thank
I just
you.
realized how appropriate your icon is.
Indeed. Yeah, so I'll count the first one because the second one was because I didn't see it come up, so.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Figured.
fits with the perception roll, so.
okay. So at this point, because of various rather high rolls. Alice, who I do need to now find a tag for. I meant to I meant to do hers properly, but never did actually get around to it. Well, she's moving with Darvin anyway, so I'll have time while people are doing their turns. Because she is going to start by moving 5, 10, 15, 20 there. Drop a Darvin. It just yoink. Hide. And placeholder for now. 5, 10, 15, 20. Flank it here. That's her movement. Bonus action, she's going to rage. So, Darvin, Remi, Ava, Froseth, and Hazel all get 2 temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
And with her action, she is going to beat the living shit out of it. Hang on.
Who got the temporary hit points?
Everybody but Nai.
Oh.
What's my threshold for armor class? Okay,
So it was 2, you said?
yes.
Mhm. Sorry.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's... I do love the advantage. The advantage is good. So that's... 12... 10... Yeah, she... I said, though, that's just her first swing. Okay. Yeah, she's taken some pretty hefty chunks out of this scorpion that's turned up in front of Remi. Just wham, wham, starting to crack the shell a little, the carapace a little bit. Furseth.
Okay. I'm just going to go up to the one down by Nai.
There?
And start swinging.
Go forth.
Wow.
20.
Nice.
Monk MVP.
Prepare for blender of attacks.
Monk and Barbarian seem to be doing pretty bloody well today.
And ice on that. Oh, nice. That was the ice one too. Nice.
Yeah, because
Yep.
we're both doing the ice damage as well. That's
Destroying these things.
Second attack.
Damn.
roll damage.
A 19. Nice.
Ironically, you could describe him as being on fire right now.
Okay. Bonus action. Flurry of blows. Another crit.
This thing's gonna be dead before anyone else gets to even move.
This right, yeah.
Last attack, 16.
That misses. You
That
hit
misses?
a more
Okay.
solid bit of carapace. So actually, now I have to do maths.
Nice job, Ressa.
You were muted there, Ben. I saw you say something, but you were muted.
His last 4 rolls were 3 20s and a 19.
Sometimes it be like that.
Darvin!
You're on ones.
I'm holding action in the event that either one of these damn things takes a step toward me.
And what action are you holding?
I'm gonna run like hell.
I don't think you could actually have run like hell as your action because that's movement.
What do you mean a dash? What are you holding?
There's-
A dash action?
I don't know
Okay.
if you can. I don't know if you can do that.
I
Well,
think you can't have movement.
oh,
No, you can't hold movement on any circumstances.
then I'll just have to not do anything right now and just hope. Yeah.
Hazel.
I'm not taking any chance here. I'm gonna click the boots,
Okay, that's your bonus action.
and I'm going to blur over here as close to this one as possible.
That leaves you open to an attack of opportunity, my dear.
From
The one you just entered the range of? I thought going
that
in.
only
Oh, that's only happened
No,
to
go.
come in. Okay, never mind. Go forth.
blur in, and I'm going to attempt to help by way of putting my spear somewhere interesting. Hopefully between a joint.
Go forth. Roll damage.
Oh, nice.
Just blur. Wham.
Okay, not quite between the joints, but you've managed to nick one of the more flexible bits of carapace. Okay.
And that's pretty much everything I can do at a go. And I'm currently at AC 20 because of the boots.
Okay, gotcha. Good to know. Because you are the last individual that attacked it, so it's going to go for you. Yeah, because that's first claw misses. Second claw does in fact hit. What damage does it do? Let's see. Where's my... Here we go. 10. 14 points of slashing damage.
Ouch.
Stinger attack. Ooh. Where's my... So that's the stinger then hits you. That's 11 points of piercing damage and make me a Constitution saving throw.
Con save 9.
Oh, oh dear.
Oh.
4, 5, 9, 12, 16, 19.
Jeez Louise.
That's fine.
22 points of poison damage, and you are now poisoned.
I'm unconscious.
That's almost 50 fucking points. Oh, God.
I dropped down to 21 off the first attack, and then this one just dropped me. Because this was a combination of me going down to 10 and then the rest of the way.
It then turns back to Remi and Alice, and opens its pincery maw and spits this nasty greenish sludge at you.
Oh, great. Spew.
Make me a Constitution saving throw.
9.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah, our con saves are kind of...
6, 9, 11, 12, 14. That would be 20 points of poison damage.
Oh, ouch.
10 for Alice because she didn't get hit. Down to 5 because she's raging. Okay. We're good. You're not good. This is not good. The second scorpion is currently looking at Froseth like
Understandable.
it is not happy.
Yeah.
Okay. So the claws lash out, and yeah, that's gonna hurt. Where's my? Here we go. That's 10 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Stinger. Stinger misses. You saw what that just did to Hazel, and that is a significant motivator.
Okay.
And it's just gonna try and bite you.
Okay.
Yeah, and that actually, as you're dodging out of the way, and it clamps its mandibles down on your tail. 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay. That hurt. I'm still okay though.
The tail, that's just not playing fair.
Nai.
Yeah, that tail is nasty.
Oh.
No, it biting Furseth's tail.
Well. As it's been pointed out to me when I retold the Mr. Dragon story, ranged attacks at point-blank range against something that's expecting it take disadvantage. Out with the packed weapon, and I'll try to pierce this thing.
Okay. Go forth.
16.
Your packed blade skates off the carapace in a shower of giggling, multicolored sparks.
Right. Bonus action. Misty Step. Up next to that patch of grass there. Or whatever it is. Thank you.
Okay. Ava. Hazel's on the ground. Remi and Alice are dripping with gunk.
Rushing towards Hazel.
Okay, nope.
Casting Cure Wounds.
Go ahead and roll. I give you a clicky button.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Check. I'll do it second. So that's 9 points of damage. Healing, rather.
Okay, so Hazel is now conscious with 9 hit points.
Ah!
Welcome back. Trouble.
That didn't feel good.
I imagine it didn't. Try not to get hit again next time.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, not much I can do else, is there?
Don't think so. And I don't know what bonus actions you've got. So.
Well, apart from the Hunter's Mark and those, which don't really apply at
Okay.
the second. Yep, I guess that's my turn.
Okay, Remi.
Remi is going to go. Actually, first she is going to cast Divine Favor.
Okay.
And then she is going to go a smashing with Divine Smite.
Well, you actually need to move up closer to it to do that because it didn't pop up directly. No, I'd already moved you.
Sorry.
Okay, you got it now. You're good.
Okay, so
You say a
Swing.
smiting, and it makes it sound like a Christmas carol. Here we go. What's
Here
smiting?
we are fighting. Yep.
Roll damage.
and then the smite level 2, and then the 1d4.
One better than 0.
That is very true.
It's not looking well. This thing. Bonus action.
She did the spell.
Oh yeah, because yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll declare it as a bonus action, then I will start remembering that it is a bonus action.
Okay.
So that's your go.
Yes.
Okay. Top of the round, Alice is still not bothering to pop the wings yet. Okay, so yeah, Remi, Alice then proceeds to whack the various legs off it and then removes its head. Mostly because as she bellows immediately after that, you still want the shells on these fuckers, right?
Yeah. God, that sting is nasty. Ah.
I think okay. Froseth.
Go, Froseth, go!
Let's see if I can have a repeat of the last one.
That'd be ridiculous.
That would not be too insane given monks.
Yeah, to be fair, Alice was almost a direct repeat of to the point. The second one was a crit, and at that point it was like I'm not even bothering with rolling fucking damage.
It's just incredibly.
Roll damage.
It's a non-natural 20.
Yeah. Second attack.
Still beating the crap out of.
Nope.
Ah.
That's gonna miss.
Yeah, that is gonna miss. Bonus action.
I will. Yeah, I'll flurry of blows again.
Okay.
So I'll get as many attacks in on this thing as I can.
You end up soloing this thing.
18.
That just hits. Roll damage.
Okay. One last attack. No, that'll miss.
That will in fact
13.
miss. Darvin, as he's watching as much of it as he can see from his perspective suddenly changes.
Whoa!
It is now your turn.
Hey, Darvin's up.
You'd be able to see that because you backed up. So.
Well, I'm also keeping an eye out for any other scorpions.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, immediately without missing a beat, I'm just gonna I take one hand.
No pun intended.
Oh,
This
come on,
side.
intend puns.
Smack the drum and fling my hand out like I'm throwing like a blade, but it's boom, and I'm gonna do magic missile at level 2.
Okay.
Okay,
I,
frozen?
I don't know if there was a clicky button.
Those things Robotech, he's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those don't require aim. That's why I did that
Yes,
deliberately.
but in character.
Oh.
That's the thought.
Like you wouldn't have time before the actual impact. There, I don't remember if
We made a clicky,
Okay, we made a clicky. Just because
but I don't know if it's gonna do the level 2 because it's an extra
well,
one.
click it and find out.
Okay.
Because
'Cause it did for
that's
me.
right. I was supposed to. Yeah. Okay.
So
Click another one then, because I'll need to work that out.
there you go.
Okay. So
So that was a 2 and a 5 respectively.
yeah, I mean it's looking kind of rough, but yes, fling and they sort of curve around first, and then wham.
Bonus action, I'm going to fling actually I'm going to Nai d- uh do the thing you do with the Eldritch Blast and hit this thing in the ass. Inspiration die 1d8 deny.
Hazel.
Since there's people still relatively damaged around me, I'm planting my spear, I'm pulling out the staff, and I'm casting Mass Cure Wounds
Okay.
through it. I don't think we have a clicky for that, so I'm just going to roll from my cheat sheet.
I thought.
No, we have mass. You gave me mass healing word, but
Oh.
not cure wounds.
Okay. Well, you got the cheat sheet. I'll work on that. I guess I probably didn't expect to need it because there's not a spell on your sheet. So yeah, I'll leave it for now just in case.
Yep. $13 plus an additional 7, so that's 20 points of healing all around.
So
Nice.
30 feet around me.
yeah, so that's Remi, Alice, everybody who's been hit.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody feeling much better.
And that's my action. I'm then going to aim the staff, grab my
Holy symbol.
holy symbol. Yeah, sorry, I'm groping for words again because I'm like
Breathe.
depressing. It'll take me a second to do so, and casting guiding bolt.
Is guiding bolt a bonus action?
Oh no, not guiding bolt. Casting
Sacred flame?
Wrong one. No, I'm casting spiritual weapon. That's the one I was trying to think of. So it's like I'm running through my spells. And spiritual weapon pops up over it in the form of an axe.
Aww. Unfortunately, it does miss.
Yeah, because I'm trying to point it over, and I got it maybe like 3 feet to the side and chunk into the ground.
Screw it, that's not showing up well. There we go. That's better. The scorpion has its target now. It is perfectly happy with the target that it has.
She wants his face.
What's your AC? Actually, why?
18.
Yeah. Why am I asking? It's +7. So yeah. That's 15 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
But you've been 20 points of healing, so far you're okay.
Yeah.
Stinger comes down. Oh, you are a lucky son of a bitch.
God, it can't hit him worth a shit.
No, it
the
hits him with
stinger's
the
missing-
claws.
The stinger's missing, which is the important part.
Yes.
I guess that's the nastiest thing it's got.
Not entirely. Do recall. And yeah.
It's got that, yeah.
I think.
Vomit.
Actually, no. Wait a minute. That's not the one that's already used as poison spray.
Nope.
But it's got a mouthful of tail, though.
No, it bit and moved on. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. 9.
Why are we only rolling 9s?
1, 6, 10.
Wrong
13.
campaign. That's not our campaign. We're not 9.
Nope.
Still.
Nice.
Don't make guys. So now I'm gonna have to start over. 4, 7, 8, 10, 11. So that's 15 points of poison damage.
15? Okay.
I'd like to apologize for that, DM.
Sorry.
I'm still up. Barely.
What?
I'm not dead yet.
Ava,
Hmm.
can we stop with that? Because it's unconscious before dead. It's unconscious a long time before dead. That's the mistake everybody keeps making, and I'd really like it to stop. Thank you. Ava.
Exact same thing.
Oh no, wait. No, sorry. I tell a lie.
Sorry, yes.
Nai. It's Nai's
Nice
go.
first, yeah.
Okay, well, taking if not necessarily good advice, at least bardic advice, breaking out the Eldritch Blast, and if I remember right, I get to roll the die after I roll, but before I get the results, right? Okay, well, so shot number 1 is a 23, and I will hold off on the inspiration
Roll
die.
damage.
Rolling the damage. Two plus 5 is 7.
Okay. So I thought it was plus
not-
your Constitution modifier. Your Constitution
Charisma.
modifier is your Charisma modifier. Your Charisma
sorry,
modifier
2.
is not 5.
Yeah.
Your
Sorry, I got
total is
lost.
5.
I got lost in the pluses.
So that's okay. You have another blast.
Firing that. That's a 10, and I'm adding the die to that one. That's roll a d8.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
16.
That still misses.
Damn.
It's AC is 18.
Oh,
You had a very small chance, but I wasn't
well.
saying shit.
well,
Me neither.
Okay. Bonus action.
that's it.
Okay, Ava. Sorry about that.
No problem. Same as with Hazel. But yeah, he's still up, but just like he's looking rough.
The first,
Yeah,
he looks like hell.
running across him. Second level guns.
Oh crap! Right, hang on. I had it off slightly. Okay. Go forth.
Yeah. Coming. Second level as well, because that thing is hitting hard. So, 10 points to you.
Yay.
Health. 0.
I'm not not cleric. I don't heal very much.
It's plenty.
Remy.
Remy, okay. Let's see. It's 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20. She can get into melee range.
She
Looks
can.
like. And then she's gonna swing at it. And she's still got her divine favor.
Okay. Roll damage.
Damn.
Ooh.
And then she's gonna swing at it again.
Go for it. Nope. Okay. Alice in which point is gonna move in to flank Remy. Still raging. Okay. Oh crap. That's 10. Okay. Seven and this thing really does not look well at all. After Alice is done beating on it with a very large axe. Verseth.
Okay. Let's go again.
Go for it.
That's a miss.
That is a miss. You are hurting.
Yep. That's the same roll. Flurry of blows.
Go forth.
Oh,
Really?
God.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. I want that whole thing re-rolled from the beginning because I'm worried about this now. So re-roll your first attack because
Okay.
if it turns up as another 9, I'm gonna be very concerned.
Okay, let's try that again then.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
actually giving you that one roll damage.
Okay.
Because that was ridiculous.
I know, right?
Okay, how do you want to do this?
Comma right in one of its many frickin' eyes.
Yeah, while it's turning around, it's Stinger trying to decide who to tackle first. You just get Frozeth going really fed up with his chunk. Fuck off, Scorpion. Chunk.
I love that you said that because I was about to do 2 magic missiles right smack in the eyes as well. So I love that you and I are the same.
Well,
That is just brilliant.
It saves the carapace as well.
Yeah.
And that's why I used up the inspiration die. Because I trusted everyone else to kill it before I got another round.
You still had a good shot there, Nai.
Okay, well, looks like I didn't have to give you a third of my earnings after all. You got your scorpions in the end.
We got our pointy things also still. Ow!
At which point she puts a hand on Versa's shoulder and you have 6 hit points more.
Okay. That puts me above half.
Sorry, it's the best I got.
I know.
I can do a little bit more if you want.
we've got healing potions, and if we take a bit of a break from here,
Take a break.
we're
yeah.
gonna need to anyway because we're not just dragging the bodies back.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta
Fair warning,
fix the
I can't use the Passive Trace spell anymore today. Just be aware if we need to sneak for any reason.
I'm not seeing any particular reason we're going to need to sneak. We haven't
No, but
we haven't
just
done
in
any
case.
sneaking so far.
No, but you never know. Just thought I'd warn, just to be on the safe side.
That's fair enough, but I didn't even know you could do that.
I can do a few things.
And I come,
So,
I come walking back up. Sorry, I couldn't do more. It seemed like staying at a distance was the best option.
at this
When you were
point,
bunny,
yeah.
yes.
funny happens.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start.
No, I meant after. I meant after. You got you.
You're squishy, Darvin.
Yeah, but he's held in gods with that rapier. I tell you that.
Yeah, the amount of things he stabbed to death with that thing. Like
I meant
seriously.
Banshee.
Yeah, he's more like a fighter half the time than a bard. Nuts.
Not quite, but anyway.
Well, you guys have been singing Darvin's praises, etc. Alice has managed to pry you off I'm gonna say 15 cubic feet of 15 feet, square, I guess, of giant scorpion carapace.
Was there a specific amount we needed on the bounty?
It was
Uh,
just a
bits.
per foot. Yeah.
Okay.
And that they weren't they were I tried to get the biggest pieces I could, the kinds you'd have an armor, the kinds you'd use in armor. So
Thank you.
Everyone got hurt all right?
Hazel, I barely felt it, and Hazel fixed it up. So, and that's kind of what happens when I go to the rage place.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just take a short rest here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ava, thank you for taking care of Hazel.
Of course.
I was gonna run in and try to do the thing, but
Well, I
closer.
probably would have beaten you to it anyway.
I was closer too, so.
fair.
And thus we all function because I love this stat.
Didn't you find that in a mimic in a sewer?
Yeah, I'll get it in a minute.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah, we-
that, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
you
where that came
told me
from.
that story, dude.
Yep.
We have had this forever, and it has basically saved all of our lives repeatedly. Praise Paylor.
Okay, first, if you want to roll hit dice, and
Yeah.
anyone else who's still injured.
Okay.
That's 2 fights. I haven't taken a single hit point of damage.
That's
You're a
Ah,
ranger.
skip that
Ranged
one.
is right in the name.
right. Fair enough.
Okay.
That
Remy
still don't make me
will.
immune from damage, though.
that puts me up to 35. That's not quite full, but close enough.
I can top you up if you want.
Yeah, and I was gonna go ahead, since I'm undamaged, was gonna go ahead and use Song of Rust.
Yeah, that
Uh,
gives another d6.
Extra D6, exactly.
Okay.
So roll an extra D6 there, Frosa. And anyone else that wants to use a hit die.
I'm going to be burning one.
So I am only 2 hit points short of max.
That's not bad.
That bumps me up pretty close to max as well. 1 hit point short of max.
to that. Anyone else need healing? Alice, do you take any
No,
damage?
I did, but she
Oh, yeah,
fixed me
no.
up. Remember, I
Take the
said.
staff.
Right.
And I'm like I'm gonna walk over to Ava and like prod her with it. Staff.
Stop.
All right. I need to prod.
And I'm putting it away. Getting my spear, pulling it out of the ground, and trying to jam it back into the spot.
She is a person. She's a person, not a sheep that needs shepherding. Stop poking her like you would with a crook, okay?
Thank you, Alice.
Okay.
Someday you're gonna do that to the wrong person, and they're going to stuff it somewhere anatomically uncomfortable.
And that's if you're lucky.
And then they will use it to use you as a mop. So don't poke people.
And there went the rest of my song of rest because I've done a spit take.
And that's if you're lucky, Hazel.
Ava speaks Elven.
It
Well, I
translates
didn't-
rough. It translates roughly to strange but lovable non-forest people.
Yeah, you'll probably hear that one. Ava will hear that one a lot.
Like, I heard that, Nai.
Is that the Elven?
Yeah, remember, Ava and Hazel both speak Elven. If you're speaking Elven, you need
hear.
to say that... It's not that they hear or they understand. And Darvin has a helm of comprehend languages.
Has the helm, yeah.
I resemble that remark.
So yeah, probably directly after the fight, Froseth probably would have let out a few curses in Dwarven. 'Cause that's his default language for cursing.
I don't think it-
Dude. Well, first of all, Remi understands those.
Yep.
And you also have Alice going, wow, it's actually really impressive when I hear you swear in common. Dwarven's even better. It takes out a really sinister sound with all the teeth, man, really.
Doesn't it?
That's awesome, yeah.
I don't think they have the
Is that
anatomy
what
to
it
do
is?
that last one.
Is that
They
what
don't, he does.
Fair point.
Oh my god, I love all this.
Anyway, we'll take that as their kind of lunch stop, and they get to evening's camp. Largely, largely avoiding cacti wherever possible.
Those things
Amen.
are evil.
Yeah, moving or not, like if it's a cactus, I'm over here. I don't care.
When you settle down for the evening, you do see lights far out on the horizon, which suggests that you're a ways from the city of Alzor High, but it's probably not a good idea to be traveling in the dark, even this close. You get a restful night, and after your extended trip out into the desert, you wind up coming in late morning to the city of Alzor High. Okay, you guys have a bounty to turn in. I have got some people to talk to at the Tipsy Pixie. Are you guys going to be asking about airships, or should I? I mean, I know the
Take care of
city.
We
that.
can both do that.
You can take your time wrapping things up at the Tipsy Pixie, and we'll.
Oh, I'm not
We'll
wrapped.
handle it.
Wrapped up happens. I'm just going there to ask the girls to spread word about his cousin.
Oh, that's what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the way I figure it is that if the girls and the guys ask their clients,
To put the word out. Thank you.
I promised. I keep my promises. And the only reason I ask is because I know the people to talk to, because, lived here.
Be right back.
out of character, when she was talking about it earlier, blew the wisdom check. So he had no. It all went over his head.
So look, why don't you guys turn in your bounty
Mm-hmm.
and pokes Hazel. And if you make enough out of that, I'll be asking for that back.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And we'll meet back at the Tipsy Pixie. Because any airship we get on probably won't be leaving until after dinner, and we could probably use a sit-down meal anyway.
Mhm.
Agreed.
That's good.
Works for me.
Besides, I'm not allowed in I'm not allowed in the quiver anyway.
For reasons that are still ridiculous, but
Well, hey, look, the current reason is there's not enough room for 2 alpha bitches, so I'm happy.
yeah,
Meet you
does
guys.
make it a bit more awesome.
Meet you guys back at the Pixie. I'll have a round set up for you.
See you soon.
See you later.
Straight for Brass Arrow
okay,
offices.
fine.
I need to turn this into cash quick.
I'll take a. I'll stick with Hazel.
Yeah, I'll stick with them.
Yes. Look, referring back to your bounty paper. Yeah, it is the main office that where you mostly see adventurers filling out their paperwork. There is another crew filling out paperwork. These ones, however, for all they're one of them is a very large half-orc who's kind of watching his fellows like they have no idea, like he has no idea what's going on and isn't entirely sure what to do with the paperwork that he's been handed. It's entirely possible he doesn't know how to read or write. There's a couple of gnomes, and they're a mixed bag, and they look kind of haphazard. But funnily enough, they're probably the most competent looking bunch you've seen sitting on that bench.
I'm actually gonna walk over to them and try to say hi. Hey.
Gnome, small, blonde. Hi. Can we help you?
Just wanted to wish you guys best of luck with the starting all of this, and also point out that your friend there could probably use a hand with the papers.
Oh yeah, no, we're helping him with that. We just need to fill out our own first. We basically we're keeping an eye on him so he doesn't eat the pencil.
Oh,
There's
that's
no-
the best I've heard
don't-
of people say.
Is that? I was going to say, is that in character? Because if it is, I would like. Hazel.
He's not.
I love you people.
He's not great with the reading or the writing. He likes ale, bright colors, and shiny things.
Go to the best place to get all of that.
Probably, yeah.
No, I'm like, no, I've actually turned to the half orc and gone, welcome to the best place to get all of that.
Thank you. Leans hand out, pat.
I am very pleased by this. Also, how much do you know about what's out in the spots? Just figured to give you guys a rundown.
There's a half elf dressed predominantly in dark browns and muddy blues and going, everything is poisonous.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep,
Basically, yeah.
scorpions, and I'm holding up the stuff. Very big scorpions.
Also,
I'm gonna go hand this
Yeah.
over.
Mobile cactus.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was
Beware
actually
the cacti.
I was actually gonna bring those up, yeah, and also beware the cats.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
those
and the
things are
cats.
adorable,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they're terrifying.
Dude, we did our research. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
That is
Awesome.
amazing. Yes.
Yes. You sound.
I'll-
Best of luck.
hopefully you
Although it
guys
sounds
have-
like
Yeah,
you don't
best
need
of
it.
luck. We shall leave you to your
Adventurers
Hello,
always
Hazel.
need luck.
That's fair.
Come on, Hazel.
We're going. I get it. Into the office I go.
Yes, in the offices, there's a bunch that's finished their paperwork and is waiting for some kind of interview process, and they're shiny and polished and looking very much, this is a formality, we can do this. Unlike the other ones who are like,
Do some more research before you think this is just a formality.
Hazel.
And I'm passing
Hazel!
past the next
Shut
group.
up.
human
people
gentleman
don't-
at the desk. Can we help you?
I'm pulling out the bounty paper and holding up the butt ton of scorpion bit.
That's actually very heavy scorpion bit, even for Hazel. Put it on the
Singing against
desk.
myself.
They check through, they do some measurements. Wait there. Haul the
While
scorpion.
they're gone, I look at Hazel. People, I know you're trying to help. Some people don't like being given advice unwarranted.
And that is a recipe for getting eaten by a scorpion.
Exactly. Yes, maybe, but
That's their problem, not ours.
I mean, I'm just saying that so that someday, some orc or some other person you kindly try to help doesn't smash you in the face because you talked to them out of turn, you know?
Yeah.
I've been punched by a weirder. If I get punched, I just
That's not.
That's not the way to think about that.
Hazel.
I've been punched by a weirder.
You're there.
Okay, out of character, that should go on Tumblr.
Yes, there's an elderly gnome, so you can only imagine how old he is, going, "We've all been punched by weirder."
the best line.
Shit that punched my players.
Okay, the human comes back, having exchanged the large pile of scorpion bits with a sizable bag that chink 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 chink.
Yay!
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Remi Hazel, come on.
And
Yep.
I'm taking I'm checking the bag as we leave.
As the bag, if you actually do counting, contains 35 platinum.
Ooh, nice.
It's not quite what Alice gave you, but at least it,
Anyway.
Should we go find the others?
Yeah, let's just head on straight to the Tipsy Pixie just so we don't get ourselves in any more trouble.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why am I the one saying that?
Well, I'm agreeing.
Flitty is going, "'Cause you're the leader."
Oh, God.
What did Flitty say?
In
I'm the
Draconic,
leader.
actually, yeah, so.
I'm the leader.
All hail.
He basically is
and
inaccurate.
from the top of Darvin's head, "Long may he reign!"
There's no business like snow business.
Also, we have a leader who sometimes turns into a bunny. Got it.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well, let's hop to it.
at which point,
Oh,
rabbit.
Oh,
Flitty,
yeah, 'cause it is a-
Flitty deploys the wings this time. Whoops!
Oh, God.
I'm
No
sorry I
leader,
said
huh?
that.
I'm just like bunny glare from the ground. Up.
The adventurers with aspirations of brass arrowhood are looking at this like, what the fuck just happened?
Curses happen. Picking him up and handing him to Ava.
Come here. putting him on my shoulder.
It's only 1 hour this time.
He's a magic bunny who sometimes turns into an adventurer.
No, curses happen.
They don't need to know, Hazel. Just let them stand.
Starts making mental note of places to leave bunny pellets.
I'm not being specific. Let's just go.
By the time you guys reach the Tipsy Pixie, it's in its usual busy but subdued busy. At this point, Emil looks at you all and goes, "Here's a rabbit again."
Yeah. That's a thing that happens.
Yes, I know. I remember it was happening to him when he was last here.
Yep.
It happened and it nearly dislocated your friend's shoulder. I remember this.
This time we'll remember to actually put him down before he turns back.
As if you are looking for Alice, she is in the back room talking to the girls and everyone else, but she has
Thank you.
Good to know.
she has arranged that you may get yourselves a drink of what you fancy at the bar.
That is a good idea.
Sounds amazing.
Yay!
And we shall let
Thank you.
Alice finish her business.
Yes.
Yep.
Sort of say before we get to the bar. I wonder if they have any more of that. What was it? The moldy one.
No!
The what?
No!
And Marta, who's at the bar you guys are approaching. You mean what Kizzy calls the Rain Granary beer?
That one, yes.
Yes.
Yes, we still have it. No one is crazy enough to want it, except possibly you. Do you want it?
Nah, something more normal this time. Ava, I got experimental one time and regretted it.
Okay. That sounds like a thing in this group.
And I'm tapping Ava on the shoulder with a paw. Just
What?
like trying to make like down motion
Oh. Hey, don't get.
onto the
Don't go
floor.
get squashed now.
You've still,
Just in case.
Yeah, you've still got a good 20 minutes, but
Yeah.
hopefully someone will be kind enough to order him a drink.
You want a beer? Well.
No, don't order anything like that here. What you order?
Carrot juice and vodka. No, kidding.
They could technically do that. They
Mm.
look at you really weird, but you.
Well, I'd point at Darvin and everything would be explained.
Bunny glare.
What was it Kezi gave us last time?
As far as Marta, as far as I understand it, what Kezia gave you last time was not to be mentioned in polite company.
And our seed to go from normal color to completely fluorescent red in half a second at that word.
Oh, this is apparently the place for experimenting.
I was talking about alcohol!
What about those distraction things? The
Oh,
You-
no.
you-
I don't know if do they have strawberry occupieds here?
If you explain what one is, because you had those in Belarus.
Well, slush, I guess? Just strawberry flavored?
Oh, yeah. Not so much strawberry. Actually, Alice likes those. We do them in passion fruit, kiwi, and mango.
Her favorite's mango, I think, so... I guess one of the... a round of those?
At which point you get Darvin hopping over to Hazel and going pat 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 on the foot, just like pat 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 pat, trying to get her attention.
Just looking
He just
down
goes
at him.
boink, boink, boink with the armor.
And he's like not like shaking his head and trying to figure out like,
Okay, I guess Darvin wants something else.
Well, it's already getting made, so
Maybe we better let him turn back before we no. They're sitting on the bar any minute now. I can
I'm
just
just
see.
gonna reach down and casually just give him just scritches.
The back paw just like pam, 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 just in frustration, just like
Thumping.
you get your round of mango daiquiris, and as she's turned away to serve another customer, whoop, human.
Damn it! I was trying to. The mango is fine. I just wanted to try the passion fruit. Damn it!
We can
To be
always keep
fair,
going.
we wouldn't know you'd turn back right now. It could be another hour or more.
You're right. I know, but I was trying to figure out how to communicate that with Paps.
We'll get you one of that, okay? We'll get you one of that kind too.
I'd never even.
You've muted.
Would that be
Right
something
in the
I'd
middle
heard
of.
passion fruit?
You actually
Yeah,
probably you probably heard of it in the in the Agway settlement.
Okay.
I actually have. I think I still have one of those.
And
Oh
you,
yeah, I think we did have some.
and
I
you,
can
you
have
probably got
exactly-
jam of it as well, so you know what they
Oh,
taste
right.
like.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
And I'm just gonna take a daiquiri or two, depending on who's carrying which ones, and just make my way to a table. And
give me a minute. I'll be right back, and I'm going to step away. I'm going to go over to Emil, and pull it, going in my own personal stash of funds. I'm grabbing 5 gold out of my pouch, going up to Emil and basically shaking his hand, putting the coins in his hand, and going, "This is for any amount of trouble that we've caused. I know it's poor compensation for it, but I'm just trying to say thank you, and we appreciate the hospitality and everything that you've done for us." And so yeah, and I'm gonna walk away and just walk away.
Okay, yeah, you guys settle and sip your drinks for a little while, and Alice sort of comes in, plonks herself down on a seat next to Remi, and goes, "Okay, we're catching a late flight out. Unfortunately, we kind of gotta go via Belarus. We're probably gonna end up overnighting because we don't fly direct to Egref from here. There's too much mountain and other hazardous bullshit, and things need to refuel. So, if basically I've managed to get us to Belarus, and we can probably get a train from Egref because I know that I've heard the stories about how Hazel reacted to the airship to get here. So I figured kind of spare some of that. So if we can get the train, great. Besides, I imagine that somebody's parents will be happy enough to have their daughter drop in and say hello.
Would Ava ever
Yes.
done?
Yeah. Remy looks. It double takes to. I would say, yes. I
Well-
suppose we should do that.
Well, and I
Oh.
can make myself scarce. I just
No.
Guy is smirking and shaking his head.
Remy
I
shoots a
just-
look at Darvin and Nai.
look. I just figured that you're basically one of the few people here whose parents aren't gone shitheads or both.
Yes, and they will want to meet you, and I do, and I do want to check up on them. Regardless.
How much am I not saying about how we ended up in the relationship we're in?
Well,
I just very quietly just go,
let's not mention any additional gods or dragons.
You know
And she
what?
pauses and then, reminds herself that they're back in the Tipsy Pixie. That's a good question.
Actually, I wasn't talking about that because I would have just stuck with prospective adventurer anyway. But I'm just saying, you know, this bunch is probably gonna blurt something.
Yes, that's
Well, a couple of them are likely to blurt something.
I'll try
why
not to.
that's why you're coming with us when my parents inevitably make us dinner again. And you want to taste their baking anyways. So
Yes, yes, you do. Oh my god.
I remember I grew up in Belarus. When I was refusing to eat at my parents because I didn't want to be, ill-gotten gains and everything. So I got odd jobs and I more or less survived on their sausage rolls and cheese buns. So
then,
Oh my
then
god,
you
that
are
is
very
adorable.
aware.
So yeah, okay. I will overnight in Belarus. We'll get to Egref. How we get there? Train, to be fair, is probably faster, not to mention safer. But sometimes that's a little. Actually, that's less tricky to arrange from Belarus to Egref than I understand it is across the border.
So, has anyone ever been on an airship or a train? Maybe not.
She's been on an airship because she would have had to get from Belarus to Alzor High, and you don't make that trip overland.
Right.
But she wouldn't have. She probably doesn't even know what a train is because she would have got. She would have got. She actually would have gone via Star Coast when Star Coast was still a valid concern.
Pretty sure Nai doesn't know what a train is. So he's sitting here going, should I ask her or will I look like an idiot? Train?
Yeah,
It's an Egref thing. Think of it as like a house that moves overland very fast.
on a particular.
So,
On a very
like
specific route.
like a trading carriage.
Yeah,
With
except
no horses.
bigger.
Yeah, no horses. It's and it
Yeah, but-
follows a particular route.
Is it moved by magic, man?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yep.
Also-
Egref people do some weird shit.
Also, no, I don't feel bad. I didn't know what it was until I saw it myself. So
Mom
I don't either,
is
so-
from Egref, which explains a lot of the magical stuff in the house.
Hey, I had to have the wheel explained to me when some human traders showed up in the forest. It's not something you get a little call for in a forest. The ground's too uneven.
Good point.
Does that mean we're gonna? Sorry, Hazel just said she's got family who's from Egref. Does that mean that her family's got family in Egref? So we're gonna have to wind up asking for whatever that last name is.
Quick flight.
That doesn't answer the
Probably.
question. That does.
I mean, it's worth a shot.
Hmm.
She wants to inquire after cousins.
Yes,
Wasn't-
I do.
Wasn't you finding half of the problems that you found in Star Coast because she was looking for a Hearthheart? Wasn't that the story you told me?
Right.
yeah.
There's like maybe one good egg in that entire bunch.
Two. Martin was pretty good, remember?
Yeah, I was about to say Martin.
That's who I was thinking about.
Well, it was Martin
Besides-
and
but I'm not-
Melinda,
Because
the shop owner. She ruffles your hair.
Thanks.
Anyway, Emil says, thank you for your graciousness, by the way. And, he's standing as dinner, so.
Alice, did you see? Yeah, I mean, you gathered pretty much everybody, so you saw Kizzy, right?
Yeah, she's just off shift today.
She's
She's
still
okay.
doing well.
She's okay, yes. Pat, pat, pat.
Uh, did somebody say something about dinner?
Yes, there is a roast. You each get a couple of really tiny. They look like roast chickens, but they're really tiny.
Oh wow!
Hmm.
I didn't know.
They
That's
shrink a
adorable.
chicken?
No,
How did they-
Nai is thinking of various songbirds he's known.
no. They're kind of like the size of baby chickens.
Wait, what?
Why are you making that face?
Did someone shrink a chicken?
No, they are small birds about the size of not quite fluffy chickens, but before they get really big.
Oh,
Okay.
They're wild and they're more in the steppe grass kind of thing. So
fascinating.
they're some of the easier hunting in the
Hmm.
area.
Okay.
They're
no,
they're filled with
I
a
don't
kind of
thi-
orange sauce.
So no, I don't think you knew this one.
Hmm?
You just had a look on your face like it
I
was
was thinking of-
worrying.
I was thinking of various small birds in the forest.
Oh no, from what it was described, no, that's not the thing. It's not the same thing.
Those look a little bigger. It's still like a shrunken chicken, but it's a lot of food.
Just eat the thing.
Has anybody encountered these?
Didn't spend that much time in Elzor Highs. Probably not. As you went in for simpler fare while you were
Right.
here. The
I'm tearing right into it. It's basically a roast chicken, only smaller. So I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
And actually when you cut into the breast, there's this sort of orangey, plummy kind of sauce.
Ooh. Ooh. I'm obviously thoroughly enjoying this. Just
Maybe I
because.
Maybe
It's
it
gonna be the
takes,
last time we're here for a while, so I'm getting everything out of it I can.
right, fair point. Maybe it takes like a tentative bite and went, oh, that's actually pretty good.
But the stuff we serve tends to be. It's just whether or not it's too spicy for your palate.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, the
that.
green stuff.
That wasn't here, as I recall.
Oh, right. Well, just Nai's
That
reaction
makes
to
It-
Nai's reaction to spicy stuff.
Yeah,
It
I'm.
was more when was it Hazel came back from the buffet with something really deadly, and
Yes.
I bit into it.
Oh.
But that
And so
was.
the next time something tries to eat me, I'm flavoring my armor like this.
Oh, actually, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, I don't imagine she got the worst of it because they save that for really special occasions. And the guys in the kitchen have actually been talking. And Hazel, if you want to try the absolute worst on the menu,
They're willing?
yeah.
I'm getting up and I'm near beelining in that
No,
direction.
Big Shake
Wait,
grabs you by the back.
Hazel?
Sit, I will bring it to you. Boom, puts you back in the chair.
Okay.
I call dibs on a very small bite thereof.
No.
Wow.
And if you survive,
You wisdom checked for that, didn't you?
Who, me?
Hazel, have the staff ready.
That's it.
You're either going to need to use it or Nai's going to need it to help stand up. One of the two. Possibly both.
Alice comes back with a small dessert bowl-sized ceramic bowl with a cover. She sets it down in front of Hazel. Actually has to work the top open because it's corked pretty tightly there. And when she lifts the cover, the smell is enough to make people sitting 2 tables away, their eyes start watering a bit.
Should I make a Constitution save just from the smell? Because I think
No.
I'm probably sitting next to Hazel.
No, but this one she's gonna have to make a Constitution save for.
Here we go. Let's see if I burst into play.
Holy shit!
Indeed.
It's not for every day, but you're managing. You're actually coping. There's
This is
a
amazing!
there's a glass of milk.
I'm just watching the red form from the inside out. Instead of going up, it's just sort of like coming forward.
I go through like a couple. I go through like few the utensilfuls, and then a drink, then more, and then a drink, and I'm just alternating like maybe like chunk of a serving, and then I set a bit aside for Nai.
The fact that this one's actually having the milk with it, wow, yeah, I am not going anywhere near that.
Oh, this is good.
13.
Actually, for you, it's gonna be at disadvantage.
Okay.
Roll again. A nat 20! Oh! Too bad it's disadvantage.
Too
Oh
bad
well.
it's disadvantage, yes. But yeah, no. Even prepared for it, you can manage not to die. But you do not understand how she's eating that.
And then you don't understand why she's eating that.
Anyone else want some?
No,
Nope,
thanks.
nope,
I'm
Uh,
good. You enjoy it.
Alice puts a mug of milk down in front of Nai. Chug.
I'm just still consuming, still enjoying the hell out of it. I grin on my face and looking very toasty. Ah, this is really good. Strong though. Delicious.
Yeah, I eat it when I miss some of the cooking I used to get up north.
Blink, blink, blink. Okay then.
Burn lichen is a thing.
Hey, it was really good
remember.
when you.
But even then I had to tone it down. There's stuff that we just don't get here. Anyway, we better get moving if we actually want to catch the airship.
yes, we do.
Right.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, right.
And since we are at that time, we will leave it at that. You have eaten well. You have recovered from your desert trials, and now you're heading back to Belarus for the other set of in-laws. And gods only know what other kinds of family shenanigans you may run into back in that particular area of Equitas. I will see you guys later.
Mm-hmm.